It feels weird introing the segment. Like I feel like I'm too gassed to give this a proper intro. But you gave the floor, so I guess I'll have to take it away, man. It'd be rude not to. The Club World Cup final. Chelsea, PSG. Before this tournament even got really underway, we talked on this podcast, and I said the words, this tournament, if Chelsea win it, it's not Mickey Mouse. If anyone else wins it, it's Mickey Mouse. And guess what, baby? Guess what? We ain't going to Disney today. We are not LeBron. We are not Anthony Davis in the bubble. We are not. Who was Mickey Mouse the other day that I said was Mickey Mouse? I can't even remember. But either way, champions of the world, baby. Champions of the world. 3-0. 3-0. The best team in Europe. The best team in the world. PSG. Everyone before the game was glazing. I was glazing. I said we had no chance. Everyone was like, Chelsea, hopefully they give them a good game. Hopefully they at least do better than Real Madrid, who just got spanked. Inter Milan spanked. Everyone else spanked. PSG weren't even conceding goals this tournament, other than the game they lost to Botafogo. Other than that, they were not even conceding goals this tournament. So everyone was like, Chelsea, maybe they can keep it to 3-0, maybe a little 3-1 or something. But guess what? Champions of the world. On our kit for the next 4 years, we're going to have a nice little... I don't know where it's going to be. Maybe on the sleeve. Maybe right here near the badge. So it's going to say champions of the world champions for the next 4 years. No one can take that away from us. And guess what else? We are the only club to have completed the set. In club football, we have won every trophy there is to win out there in club football. No other club can say that to us other than maybe some Brazilian club or something. But in terms of this is the new Club World Cup, a new format. We're the first ones to win this. We got that nice new trophy with the little keyhole in the middle, and that trophy is sexy, bro. And we won it. Man. We have won. Once we won the Conference League, we were already saying completed the set because we never competed in the Club World Cup of this new version. Now we got in here and we won this first time too. We've completed the set, bro.
You got a new signing too, bro. The Cheeto Man.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're not gonna stop my rant. You're not gonna stop my rant. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So yes, we have won every trophy there is to win as a club. No one else has done that. So we are technically the greatest club of all time, but we'll keep that moving. Arteta, you're a fraud. Maresca has won the same amount of trophies as you in 1 year. It's like your 6th or 7th year in the Arsenal project, bro. You're a bomb. It's just simple, bro. Maresca, a tactical mastermind, bro. Oh my gosh, what else? What else is there to say? Enrique, bro, this dude was so rattled he thought it was UFC, bro. Dana White wasn't even there. That was Trump, not Dana. You got baited, bro. He started scrapping with João Pedro after the game. What was that, bro? You got rattled. PSG all year, they're spanking every team. They want to go, they're humble winners. Yes, we did what we had to do. Oh my God, we were so good. The one time they start to lose, all of a sudden tackles flying in, red cards. They looked so petulant to end that game, bro. That was embarrassing. And guess who made them do that? Chelsea FC. Real Madrid after the game congratulating us. So congratulations, FC came back and they said, Chelsea, congrats on the freaking Club World Cup, bro. What else? Palmer, big game player, still a big game player, but everyone was saying before this game, Palmer, he can't score from open play. Everyone's gassing him. Did y'all forget this dude came on in a Euros final and scored for England when England looked like trash, bro? They should have started that dude from the beginning. In finals, he is clinical. I think he has 8 goals and assists in 6 finals. What the hell, bro? Stop doubting Palmer. Caicedo, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. Stop doubting him. People going to say 100 mil, he's not worth that. On the biggest stages, now I think people just don't watch Chelsea week to week. Now you're seeing this dude just dominated the best midfield in the world. Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, what's the other dude? João Neves. They had nothing to do, bro. Caicedo was on all their cheeks. And then when they wanted to man-mark Doué, he's doing that too. Man-mark Dembele, he's doing that too. Bro, he's worth every penny because every week he's playing next to someone else, playing next to Reece James in the final. The week before that, he's playing next to Andre Santos. Then he's playing next to Lavia. He might be playing next to Enzo. He's like, bro, no matter who it is, this dude is dominant. I could keep going, honestly, but I know you guys wanted to talk about Trump, so we could talk about Trump. But basically, all I have to say is champions of the world. We literally are the champions. Like there's going to be the World Cup next year. That's going to be the international champions of the world. And we are the club champions of the world. Champions League? Who cares about that, bro? That's champions of Europe. This is another level. PSG champions of Europe. We're champions of the world. And we beat the champions of Europe to become the champions of the world. You guys thought I was insufferable before. Oh my God. The next 4 years, I'm going to be on every club's cheeks, bro. Man United, you ain't completed the lot. Barcelona, you ain't completed the lot. Was it Real Madrid? You have not completed the lot. Arsenal, you haven't even won a European trophy. We don't care about you, bro. Spurs, you got your little Europa League. You haven't completed the lot, bro. You haven't even won a Prem in however long, bro. We don't care about you. Who else? Man City, you have not completed the lot, bro. You're fraudulent. We got the better bald manager. Bro, I could keep going. I'll let you guys jump in. Let's talk about it.
Hey, man. First of all, I got to applaud the amount of mental gymnastics you had to do to come to this is crazy. I got to respect the commitment, though. I got to. If it was Man United up there, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Yeah, to be honest, I don't have much to say about this game because Chelsea just absolutely dominated. That PSG showing was embarrassing. It was awful. Everyone who were hyping up after that Champions League final, I have no words of kindness for them right now, so I'm not going to say much. Dembele, I mean, we were talking about Ballon d'Or. We were having Ballon d'Or conversations. I don't put much in the Club World Cup, but like, bro was a ghost. Bro was a ghost. Absolutely locked up. That was ridiculous. Doo-doo, bro. Did nothing. Like, I can't say anything. I was bored watching that game. Like, I was entertained by Chelsea and the goals they scored early on. That kept me awake. But everything after that, I was like, what are these decisions? What happened? It's only been like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And this is the downgrade? This is crazy. So
no. Oh, I'll let you continue before I.
Or you know what? Maybe it's less of a downgrade and more of Chelsea doing their job well and doing it right. I am maybe just surprised by the fact that PSG didn't have a response to that. Couldn't muster anything up. And yeah, just I will say I absolutely hate that the US is hosting this tournament and the World Cup. We got to deal with fucking 1984 propaganda at halftime. I saw a clip of like there was a DAZN interview, I guess, maybe after the game or halftime. I'm not too sure with Trump. And it's like, it's just a propaganda machine, bro. And even the reporter was glazing this dude, being like, well, maybe I can come to the Oval Office to see your version of the trophy. It's like, bro, come on, get your ass back to Fox News. What are you doing here? So that shit pissed me off. Him being on the stage pissed me the fuck off.
Ruined it.
Also, another thing, for every American broadcast of this sport of football, I am sick and tired of hearing your American commentators. Get them out of here, bro. They keep talking like this shit is the NFL. I don't want to hear that. Oh, there he is on the corner going in for the goal. And there's the header. Like, it is so annoying. Talk about the fucking end zone. I don't want to hear you talking about hitting the post, hitting the corners, hitting the pens. I don't want to hear any of it. You are annoying. Shut up. Less specific to the Club World Cup, but that just stands. So I'm happy the sport is growing here, but my God. And the fact we're doing ads mid-game too during this whole tournament, absolutely disgraceful, shambolic. Fuck that shit. So congrats to Chelsea though.
You're lucky. I was about to go crazy on you, but that was a nice little bow on top. Right? Any thoughts, Eric, before I spaz again?
Well, in regards to the commentary, man, just learn Spanish, bro. You don't ever got to switch sides, man. You just get the Univision broadcast, man. That's what you got to stick with. But as far as the match itself, actually, yeah, I'll give my opinions on the match itself. it was a fun watch, man. I know the scoreboard will say 3-0. I think that's like, yes, PSG didn't come and didn't show out, but like just the energy that I felt from Chelsea in that first half, especially, like I was very like excited just watching the whole thing. There was that I believe it was an offsides goal at the very beginning, right? Right? No. It wasn't an offsides goal. It was like he just like missed a wide open shot, but to everybody looked like that had gone in, and I can't remember who exactly had missed that, but you saw the energy straight.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
was it Palmer? Was it Palmer? And then he comes back and scores two goals that were pretty much identical. And what I can respect about Palmer is that he's not like, may not be like the flashy type of guy, but like he gets the job done, and he really showed out. And I don't know, it's just super clinical finishes. Nothing like that's gonna, like if you ask me a year from now what did those goals look like, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you, because they were very, very clinical, very, I guess you could say, like, I don't want to say unspectacular, because then that makes me sound like I'm not like giving him his props, but it's not the flashy type of thing that you're gonna see years from now, but you got the job done, and you were scoring in open space, making the right runs, I guess.
Composure is a big one.
Yeah. So I was happy to see that. I can definitely see the energy there. And yeah, man, I mean, I will say, just from a broader perspective, this is the first, well, not the first, but we have again now seen in full what a huge FIFA tournament looks like when it's being held in the United States. I think the Copa America was a nightmare, if I'm being honest. Like, if we don't remember, like last year they had those like security issues. We didn't see any of that. So I will say props, I guess, to MetLife about that. But listen, now the only thing that stands ahead is the World Cup, and I guess we'll see what happens there. But it's interesting to see that this country has now seen huge FIFA tournaments, and they've been, aside from that little segment we had last week, looks like they've had very successful showouts from the American public. So we'll see how that translates into next summer. But yes, congratulations to Chelsea. And my question as I close this take off, is what are your thoughts knowing that Trump has the OG trophy in the Oval Office?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, bro. What is this? Why is that happening? Like, I don't know if this is like standard procedure for tournaments. I don't know what if like it's host countries usually have that kind of right over trophies.
Can I give some insight?
Yeah.
So that trophy is made by Tiffany & Co. And I worked there, and they actually have their own versions of all the trophies they already make, like NBA, NFL. Like, they have that in their office, just like on the top floor, like, where all the higher up people go. So they make like personal versions of these trophies for themselves. And I imagine them knowing Trump and him liking gifts, and FIFA knowing that and loving bribery as well. We're like, hey, let's slide this man his own version of the trophy to make him feel good, and move on with our day. So I think it's as simple as that. It's a way of kissing ass.
Sounds about right. That whole thing, the whole trophy lift, bro, just ruined the vibes. Everyone was looking at him like, bro, what's going on? Palmer, like, get up out of here, buddy. Like, Reece James was hitting like the stutter step on the trophy lift. He was like, this dude gonna walk off the podium, or like, what's going on? He's just killing the vibes. They're just awkward.
Sanchez was too excited having him up there. I don't know if you noticed.
And that's exactly why you're out of here.
Yeah. If Trump heard his last name, he'd be like, hold on a second.
Hold on,
what are you doing here?
Let me hear how good your English actually is.
Yeah.
But, he was a little too gas for my liking. But speaking of Robert Sanchez, and speaking to the game in general, that man was playing for his career at Chelsea. This entire season, everyone's like, Robert Sanchez, me included. And I still believe, get this dude out of here, bro. He is terrible. But yesterday, he showed up, had his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. And despite how dominant we were, PSG is so good a team, they still had chances. They still had really good shots on goal. And Robert Sanchez came up big in those moments. And I have to give him his credit for that because generally he is shaky, very shaky on the line. But yesterday, he went crazy. I got to give him that. And hopefully that just means he raised his value a little bit and we can ship him up out of here and we go get a better keeper because I do not want him starting for Chelsea next season. But speaking to the game in general, I do think that people are going to say, oh, PSG was terrible. That's why Chelsea won, whatever. I'll tell you straight. I'll tell you to you straight. Enzo Maresca outclassed Luis Enrique yesterday. That was a coaching masterclass. If you watch Chelsea week to week, we play differently every week. We specifically line up for the team we're facing. And you can't say that for every team. And there's pros and cons to that. Like not having a typical structure is also a weakness to certain teams. Like all the best teams usually have like their go-to thing that they do. But Enzo has decided to go with, okay, but depending on the team, because we have such a deep squad, we can line up differently every week. We don't play the same starting 11 every week. You know, we probably do have a best, but we just switch it up. And for PSG, we beat PSG at their own game. PSG is known for having the best fullbacks in the world who bomb forward and catch us out, press high. We outpress them in their back line because you could say teams didn't care about the Club World Cup. It's not that big. That was the same starting 11 from the Champions League final, other than Pacho, who got sent off in the previous game, but they had to start Beraldo and that center back. Other than him, that's the same starting 11 from the Champions League final. So clearly PSG wanted to win it, and we outplayed them. We had Gusto. There's a lot of questions about Gusto coming into this season, because last year was not a great season. The season before, he was amazing under Poch. He didn't find his role under Maresca, really. And yesterday, Maresca put him back to what he does best, bombing down the wing, overlapping, basically running that entire right wing. And you would have thought Nuno Mendes for PSG, that's what he does. Gusto outplayed him completely. Every time you see Robert Sanchez, I'll give him his credit too, the long balls over the top, Gusto is gone. And he's so fast and has so much stamina. He's up and down the wing. And he's creating a lot of those chances just through his movement. Hakimi, you would think on the other side he had that locked up. We're doubling. Pedro Neto, we played him on the left wing. Sometimes we play him on the right, sometimes we play him on the left. Yesterday we played him on the left because he does so much defensive work. And we know Hakimi is going to be bombing down the right wing. So Pedro Neto is tracking back, covering Hakimi. So him and Cucurella are both on him, or Cucurella will be on Doué, and then you have Caicedo dropping and covering Hakimi with Pedro Neto. It's just, tactically, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Palmer starting on the right. Usually, we like him in the center, but he had some amazing year on the right under Poch. So he's starting on the right. When Gusto bombs down the right, Palmer drifts into the center. Then you see him in the top of the box in those areas. And he was wide open half that time when people would come after him, because we have João Pedro up top, who's not a traditional 9. So he can make that space for Palmer, be able to play more up front centrally. Enzo Fernandez drifts off more toward the left when Neto's a little higher on the wing. It's just everything about the team. Reece James playing in DM. He's traditionally a right back. Enzo has made him a more of a hybrid. You can play a defensive midfielder, not just right back. So, and sometimes we play Caicedo out of right back. Yesterday we had Gusto there. It's just so much flexibility. And like you said about Palmer, I think the reason why he gets the nickname Cold Palmer is because under pressure, that composure to score, like the penalty run he went on 2 years ago. But really, you see it in those 2 goals that he scored. Donnarumma is a massive keeper. Like, this dude is like 6'6" or something. If you shoot high, or even like mid-level to high, this dude has a way better chance of getting to it just because that reach is so crazy. Palmer, I think the biggest thing underrated about Palmer is his IQ, because he's not the most athletic player ever. He's not the fastest. He's not the most agile, the most skills, whatever. But in those quick moments, his decision making is amazing. He recognizes, if I shoot low, it's way harder for a guy 6'6" to get down to the ground and reach out for that versus like jumping and reach out with his arm. And that's why he said, okay, first time, perfect, it went that way, I'm running it back. That's the real cool Palmer, like in those moments. So he was amazing. I already talked about Caicedo. Because Rodri was out last year, you could argue he was the best DM in Europe, but we're gonna have that conversation. Gusto, I talked about him. Reece James, he got injured maybe toward the very, very end of the game. Couldn't last the entire game, but I like him at DM because he doesn't have to do as much running. and we know his legs are cooked because he's injured all the time. So I kind of like him in that space. Doesn't have to cover as much ground, so hopefully we can keep him fit for longer. Enzo Fernandez, everyone doubted him after, he went crazy with Argentina at the World Cup. He cost $100 million. Everyone's like, this dude's not worth it. He had his rough patches, but you can see now
he rough patch on that bus. Let's not forget about that.
We're not wrong, but he's still our second captain, which is crazy. Which is crazy. Crazy. And he's captained a lot because Reece James has been injured so much. He's captained a lot. But yeah, we're not gonna. That in itself is crazy. But he has become a vital part of this team. Like, he's really shaped his changed his game. Now he can play more forward if you want to push Palmer out wide. Now you can drop deep. He can play next to Caicedo if you want to have Palmer, Neto, and like Nkunku in front of him or something like that. We've really transformed over the last, I think, few months to be able to be a team that's really like a Swiss Army knife. And I'm not saying we're the best team in Europe. Obviously, I went crazy on this rant earlier. I'm not expecting us to win the league. I'm not expecting us to win the Champions League. But I do think now we're a team that can give any of those top teams a real game. And I think we're back in terms of we're now Chelsea FC, who's competing for these top spots again, versus like now every game we're expecting us to go in and lose against all these big teams. Now they actually have to look out for us and game plan. I think now it's hard to game plan because Maresca can come out in any setup that you might think of. So in that sense, I think that was really a tactical masterclass. I got to give him his credit. A lot of people doubted Maresca, me included. He didn't have the craziest resume before coming to Chelsea, but he went crazy. João Pedro, I didn't even speak on him. He scored a beautiful little lofted chip over Donnarumma, the third goal. His movement is amazing. You would think him and Palmer have been playing together as long as Palmer and Jackson have been playing together. Their chemistry is already amazing. And João Pedro was on the beach when we signed him, bro. This dude was just chilling on vacation. He came back, he trained with us for like a week, and all of a sudden he's starting for Chelsea, looking better than Jackson and Delap, which is crazy in itself. What else? What last thing? I think looking forward, going into the next season though, we still do have some signings to make, and we'll get into that in a second. We'll talk about some the transfer window. We have brought in some dudes, but I do think we're not perfect. No team's perfect, but I can say we're better than Bayern. We're better than Madrid because y'all just got spanked by PSG and we spanked them. Y'all thought I was done like Glazer, bro? I'm not done for the next 4 years, bro. We're gonna have the patch on our kit. Where's my kit, bro?
It's an ugly patch, bro. Come on, it's an ugly patch though.
Hey, what does it read? World champion. World champions. We're gonna have that sexy pad on the kit that says world champions, and no one else is gonna have that for the next 4 years. Dembele, you're a fraud, bro. You're not getting no Ballon d'Or. You probably still are, but now you let Lamine back into the conversation. PSG, like I said, we didn't talk about this, but at the end of the game, embarrassing, head loss. They looked so petulant. You would not think those were the champions of Europe, bro. They should have had almost 2 red cards at the end of that game, bro. It was ridiculous.
That was a Madrid response.
Really,
emotionally.
They learned from Madrid, bro, for that one. And last thing I got to say, I said this. You might remember after the Champions League final, I mentioned one thing. I said, you know who's the biggest loser in this final? Kylian Mbappe. You know who's the biggest winner from the Club World Cup final? Kylian Mbappe. I know that dude was the biggest Chelsea fan yesterday. He was gassed. He might congratulate PSG after the Champions League final, but he was crying, tears on his phone. And yesterday, I know he was gassed because if PSG won that, they have won everything there is to win last season. Now, after getting spanked, he can at least say, okay, at least PSG didn't win that one, bro. So Mbappe, you're welcome. You're welcome. But we're still champions of the world and you're not. And Neymar's better than you all time, but we'll get into that.
Oh my God.
Any last thoughts though on the Club World Cup?
Man, you covered it all, man. You covered it all. I gotta give props again. Chelsea really did their thing. It's crazy. This is a team who not too long ago was in Man United's position in some ways.
For real.
And so the transformation, you're seeing it more and more. And Maresca's doing his thing, He's a baldy. He could do his thing without 115 charges. Gotta respect it.
That's the key, bro. That's the key. At least not yet.